Hello, this is Galaga for NES. I dumped this ROM from the Steam version of Namco Museum Archives Volume 2. Let's just go ahead and play. So this came out in like 85 or something, and Galaga the arcade game came out in, oh boy, now I forget, 81 or 82. I think it was 81. Something like that. So Galaga had been in the arcades for years by the time this came out on NES, and I stink. Galaga was all over the place when I was a kid. I was born in 1974. Galaga was everywhere. I got sick of Galaga as a kid. There was just Galaga overload. Galaga is a sequel to a game called Galaxian, which is very similar looking. Slightly crustier. I guess I should let it catch me, right? This is funny, because that Galaga... I think those are called Galagas, those ships. Now I've doubled my firepower. Those ships remind me of, you know, those big... sort of two-leggedy blue things in Tron. Those giant ships that are kind of shaped like that, kind of shaped like a big capital M or something, and they're bluey purple like those big ships in this game that can send out the tractor beams to capture your ship. And I was thinking maybe did Galaga get that from Tron? But Tron came out like, I think it was Tron that came out in 82. The year after Galaga, but then it occurred to me, well, wait, maybe, oh gosh, maybe Tron got it from Galaga. I mean, look at that thing right above my ship, way up at the top. That looks like, kind of like the thing from Tron. I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but this game was everywhere. It was unavoidable. Oh man, it measures the hit-miss ratio, shoot. Hope that doesn't affect my score or something. I mean, obviously, if I hit all the time, I might have a higher score. So I'm just getting blasted in this game. So Galaxian, I didn't see a ton of. It came out in 80. Or 79. It came out the year after Space Invaders. Wait, maybe Space Invaders was 78, so then Galaxian would be 79. I can't keep these years straight. Anyway, something like that. And Galaxian was basically Namco wanting to cash in on the Space Invader craze because a fellow Japanese game company, Taito, had made Space Invaders, and Space Invaders was huge. Space Invaders was everywhere. It was sort of the mainstream popular arcade machine, you know, that everybody knew about before Pac-Man, kind of. So Namco wanted their own space shooting hit arcade game, and what they got was Galaxian. Galaxian had a few advantages over Space Invaders when it came out a year later. I wonder if you can get 3 ships lined up. I can't now because I don't have any more ships, but for one thing, Galaxian was in color. Looked a lot like these colors. Oh. Oh, one keeps getting away. And I think the enemy ships move in sort of swooping patterns and stuff in Galaxian, not as fancy as Galaga's, maybe. Whereas in Space Invaders, you know, they just sort of go back and forth as a single mass, left and right across the screen. Another thing that I hadn't known before I was looking all this stuff up, oh my gosh, was, I still haven't beat the default 30 KI score. Am I getting to about the same stage each time? I got to stage 4 or whatever? 4 marks? Hey, my hit-miss ratio was slightly higher, I think. Galaxian instituted a tile-based rendering system for the background. So, maybe for the whole game, I'm not sure exactly how that works. So like you see these little moving stars in the background. Apparently that's part of the tile-based system that Galaxian came up with. So instead of just having static images as backgrounds or whatever, bitmaps, or I forget what that's called exactly, they could... I should let him capture me? You want to capture me, buddy? Come on, eat me up. Is it because I shot him once? Is he mad? Just flapping his little arms? Or wings? Or I don't know. I don't think he's going to do it. He's not going to bite. So the tile map system let them get a lot more out of a small amount of RAM, which is all machines had back then, very little RAM. So they had these like 8x8 pixel tiles that they could just repeat where needed and make bigger patterns out of these tiny little images. And make them move around and stuff, I guess, so you have this scrolling Starfield background. You gotta say, the Starfield is amazing. Just the colors, and it's just so cool looking. Well, I can't do nothing without my multi-ship firepower. Oh, heck. Oh, well, that was a little better. Oh, we're still going. Dang it. I guess this one would be called Galaga then, because Galaxian didn't have the Galaga ships, if that's indeed what they are. The other problem I have with Galaxian, which I think is in Namco Museum Archives Volume 1, but I didn't get that, because I don't like... I dislike Galaxian. I never liked Galaxian. Galaxian feels extremely slow, partly because you can only have one shot out at once. Whereas in Galaga here, you notice I can have 2 shots on screen. So you've got twice the rate of fire in this game, which is good. Oh man, I'm still flirting around 22k. Oh wait, I have another ship. Oh, okay, good. Let's bust this score wide open then. Okay, come on, you little space bee. Stage 6. I like the way they've got like a, whatchamacall, that system where you have little chalk marks and you put a slash through 5 of them to show you got 5. Anyway, it's kind of like that with their stage readout. You got a stage 5 marker. Oh man. So yeah, Galaxian, you just shoot so slow, just one shot, and that one shot thing is, I think, how Space Invaders works. You can only have one shot out in Space Invaders at a time, I think. I think that's right. Ah! I gained a ship. I did it. No, I'm ruining my my hit percentage. Oh! I mean, when they shoot low in their pattern like that, you really can't avoid that. There's gotta be some way to learn to avoid it. Trying to bully me off the... Oh, I can't... No! Oh, stupid. Oh, no. That's game over, because I don't have another ship. I realized that a second too late. I let it pick me up, stupidly. Stupidly. Well, I got 40k. Didn't let me enter initials or anything, though, did it? Did I just somehow blank that out? I think it just keeps track of the score. You don't get it to say your three-letter name or anything. I mean, back in the day, I just got really tired of Galaga. I didn't really like the swooping patterns of the ships and having to try to chase or dodge them like that. It still felt kind of slow to me, even though you have 2 shots instead of 1. And I didn't really like just having to sit down here and plug away at the ships at the top of the screen. Although, you know... So in the arcade, it's a vertically oriented monitor. It's a 3:4 aspect ratio, so it's a taller screen than this feels like. This feels like the enemy ships are closer to you, and so they don't feel quite as hard to hit when they're, hey, I got them all, when they're at the top of the screen. I kind of like that. This is a very good port. Not that it's, hey, I got all them too. Not that it's super arcade accurate, because, like, for instance, the screen is not quite as tall as in the arcade, I don't think. And it's got to be lower resolution. But, it just sounds good and it moves fast. Looks good. Looks really good. Oh my goodness. Get blown up. Ah. Oh, the space bees. Why did I try to take that formation on? I was stupid. I mean, I think that's where most of my deaths are coming. It's trying to take on those double formations as they... Okay, you can't do it. Come on, bee. Get that space, honey. You want some of that, don't you? Look at this slick fighter plane. Like, I've got this, like, red V-shaped windshield. That's pretty sweet looking. Oh, yeah. You guys are in trouble now. Oh, no! And the way their shots can pitch outwards with their momentum. That's kind of... It's tricky. Oh wait, that guy transformed into 3 smaller ships. Wow. Never even noticed that before. Oh god, all the patterns. This swooping, it's mesmerizing. That ain't how bees fly. What are those things supposed to be, like flying scorpions? See, they kind of do look like scorpions, don't they? That's crazy. Alright, those bonus stage, they don't shoot at me. Oh, that sucked. Oh. Oh. Got him. Going for the high score. My tiny little high score. Okay, don't sit under big formations as they dive bomb. That's probably... Oh! That wasn't a big formation, but it still blew the heck out of me. Oh, this kind of sad music. It's kind of like, well, you died. Did I get a high score? I can't tell. I mean, it looks like I did. I didn't think I was that close to getting... I don't know what I did. Let's do another one. So, I also have the arcade version of this game. I think I extracted that one from the Steam version of Namco arcade game series Galaxian. Or no, Namco arcade game series Galaga. I think that's where I got it from Steam and extracted it. So, and then I can run it in MAME. That was the one of those series I had never bought on any platform because Namco put out, was it 4 games? This is the Namco arcade game series: Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Dig Dug, and Galaga. And I just scorned Galaga. It's kind of amazing they still have the Miss Pac-Man one on Steam, because they have otherwise tried to wipe Miss Pac-Man out of human memory. Oh, that was close. Oh boy. Oh, he went back into formation. Oh! I wonder what determines if the Galaxian or if the Galaga tries to use its beam. Ow! So you can definitely get these ships if you have your firing pattern just right. Ah, I do not. Got him. What was I talking about? I was talking about something I meant to get babbling about and I forgot what it was. Oh well, it must not have been important. Not shocking. Oh yeah, I have the arcade version of Galaga, so that'll be my next video, comparing this against the arcade version. Essentially, I'm not going to run them both in the same video because they have different resolutions and stuff, but you know, I want to get a feel for this one, then I'll go play the arcade one and see how it compares. I have a feeling it'll be tougher because the enemy ships are farther away when they're at the top of the screen, so you can't shoot them as fast or as easily. I mean, it's just sort of naturally harder to aim. Oh, that's the sideways shot. I did not remember they could do that, and they could get me. Picking off the side ones. I wonder what made them pick these bug-like alien... Oh boy. Alien designs. Why little insect guys? Oh wow, I gained another ship. Oh, at 30,000, right. It's the first ship. You guys are getting decimated. I mean, worse than that, because decimated is only losing 1 in 10. You're losing everybody. The Romans were wimps. I'm obliterating. Ow! Oh, that reversal. I can't handle them fancy moves. Oh, God, if you could just get right on that, you would rack them up. Okay, it's looking good. It's looking good for cracking the high score here. Oh, I just did with a bonus. Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Okay. Ah. Did it. Come on, baby. Yeah, any day now. Okay. I didn't want to shoot it accidentally. Oh yeah, that double firepower is so good. Oh, except you can't. You're double wide. Oh. Oh well. Yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. I can't dodge fast enough. Dang it. These patterns are just plain mean. Oh, it's a new... Oh, wow, it's a new transformation type. It's split into 3 of those W-shaped things. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Okay, 51.99K. 51% hit or miss. Oh, baby. What a dead eye. And that's stage 9. So this is a fun game. I mean, I guess you could say it starts slow, but it doesn't actually, really. It's kind of, I mean, there's a lot going on. Maybe I'm just an old man. I can't handle, you know, manic shmups or something, but, manic shmups don't have dudes doing friggin' pirouettes back at you. Not usually. And this one doesn't have any horrible flashing lights in my face. It's got these really soothing Starfield effect. What a lovely game. Let's see. So I actually have a bunch of Galaga series stuff to do. So I am still obstinately skipping any Galaxian action. And then I was thinking, wait, what about Bosconian? But Bosconian is a 4-way shooting game. I think by Namco. So I'm not doing Bosconian. So there's Galaga. I have 2 versions of Galaga to do. Or well, one more now, the arcade one. And then so Galaga had a sequel, and I don't think I knew this until recently when it came up, when the Namco Museum Volume 2 Archives Volume 2 came out, because the sort of bonus game in Archives Volume 2 was a demake of the arcade sequel to Galaga, which was called Gaplus, or I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but it's Gaplus. So the series went Galaxian, then Galaga, then Gaplus. And sort of like back when I was a kid, I never really saw Galaxian a whole lot. I saw it some. I knew what Galaxian was, kind of. It was just like the crusty Galaga. But I don't think I ever saw... And I still would have been going to arcades when it came out. It didn't come out that much. You know, it was like 3 years or something after after Galaga. But I never, ever, ever saw Gap Plus as far as I recall. Or maybe I did and I just thought it was Galaxian and that I just didn't even look at it. I guess that's the most likely thing. But I don't know if I would be surprised if they produced it in anything like the volume that Galaga got produced in. Also, there's some stuff in... I mean, probably by the time Gapless came out, people like me, you know, were just tired of Galaga. Galaga was everywhere, and they went and made another game that looked a heck of a lot like Galaga, except there are some surprising differences, like you can actually move your ship up the screen instead of just moving left right, but it feels sort of unnatural in that game. So anyway, I have the demake NES version of Galaga. So that was a new game. It was M2 who made these Namco Museum Archive collections and put them together, and I guess made the emulator they run in normally, although I just, you know, extracted the ROMs and am running it. Oh, did I say I'm running it in Mesen? The emulator Mesen, that's what this is running in. So M2 made, they made a NES ROM out of the arcade Gapless, which had never been on the NES, but they made a new NES game essentially in 2000 or 20 or whenever Volume 2 came out, pretty recently. Now most people, I don't think that got nearly as much attention as the bonus demake that they did for Namco Museum Volume 1. That was kind of the one that got all the press because that was a demake of Pac-Man Championship Edition, and it just looked like ridiculously flashy. Like it couldn't. There was, you know, there's no way this is an NES game. It's kind of what, you know, people were just dumbfounded. And you know, I could get Volume 1 and extract that and run it in Mesen and, you know, be this super wild NES game essentially, but it's actually too wild. It's too flashy on my eyeballs, so that's why I didn't get that. I wish my eyeballs could handle it. Yeah, so I think you know, compared to NES Pac-Man Championship Edition, NES Gapless didn't really blow a whole lot of people's wigs off, but yeah, so anyway, I have that to play, and then I have the arcade version to play. It hasn't come out on Steam, but I do have the Arcade Archives version on PS4 of Gapless by Hamster, so that seems pretty decent one, so I'll play that. Now, there is an exploit, an intentional secret in Gapless that you can use. So Gapless, it still starts with 2 shots. You know, you can have 2 shots on screen from your ship, and you can move up the screen. I think that the enemy formations are even wilder in that one, and their movements. But another difference in Gapless over Galaga is that you can get a new type of ship. You can upgrade your ship to a different looking ship, and this different looking ship can do 3 shots. It can have 3 shots out at once, so you increase your firing rate by 50%. And there is a secret way to get that. Normally, I think you have to get to stage like 30 or something. There's like a ton of stages in Gapless. But normally you have to get to some stage pretty far on to get the upgraded ship, but there's actually a way to do it in stage 1. And I think I was able to do that in the demake NES version. Pretty sure I tested that. So that's kind of cool. Although it's sort of a pain to do, and it kind of means that, like, well, I don't really want to play Gapless without that, without the faster firepower. So if I screw up getting it in stage 1, then I guess I'll just restart or something. I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see what I do. But it's late, and it looks like I am not going to be playing any of these games tonight. So all we're getting today is NES Galaga, which is a pretty sweet game. I never had this on NES. My brother and I, or my family, I don't know. I don't think we owned it, but I mean, I guess our parents got it as a gift, but I don't know. Anyway, so we had an NES, but I never even thought about getting Galaga. Why would I have gotten Galaga? I was sick of Galaga as a kid. But this was a sweet game, and I'm sure it's easier. See, I kind of wanted to play them both back to back, but it's bedtime, so I can't. I guess I'll probably go check it real quick here, off camera, as it were. And then I'll get in a good old long session whenever I've got a decent chunk of time. But yeah, it's a good game. The arcade version is probably better, but maybe not sweeter. I don't know, but I guess we'll find out. Man, that Starfield is so good looking. Dang, that tile rendering. So yeah, I didn't realize that, the tile rendering came out of the Galaxian series, and it was what enabled it enabled a bunch of these games to have scrolling backgrounds. Actually, I think I was reading the Atari 400/800 or something hardware could essentially do tile maps because it could because it could do sort of repeated graphics made out of it's like, I think they were 8x8 letters, bitmap letters, but they didn't have to be letters. It could substitute any tiles in there, so you could do tile rendering on the Atari 400/800 or whatever. But it was, the NES could do scrolling levels because, while these most machines back then didn't have nearly enough memory on board to have like a full, huge image of a world, essentially a whole level in memory at once. You could basically make the level on the fly out of a bunch of tiny little tiles of, little sections of wall and grass and pipe and stuff. So you could sort of create these scrolling backgrounds on the fly for things like Super Mario Brothers. And that's kind of what made Super Mario Brothers, is the fact that it was this big scrolling thing. I mean, I guess, well, the game with the scrolling, the running along a scrolling world game that came out before Super Mario Brothers was famously Namco's own Pac-Land, which is, the NES version is in this Namco Museum Archives Volume 2, so I will make myself play that. I never liked Pac-Land either. And I mean, I've played the arcade version semi-recently in some other collection. I mean, Namco keeps putting Pac-Land in all kinds of stuff. I guess I have it in that recent collection that came out on PS4, Namco Museum, whatever the heck. And I've had it in a bunch of stuff I have it on PS1, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, because I think I played that semi-recently as well. But the NES Pac-Land is really different looking than the arcade version. It's pretty weird. I don't know why. I mean, it just doesn't look great. This is a really good port. It looks good. It looks good like I remember the arcade looking, but I actually kind of like it more because it's just in that sort of more comfortable NES resolution. It's just sort of cuter. But Pac-Land is They just changed stuff. Stuff looks so different in Pac-Land. I guess maybe because Pac-Land sprites were bigger and there was just no way they could. They figured there was no way they could recreate it, so they had to get a little interpretive. Anyway, why am I talking about friggin' Pac? Oh, because it had a scrolling background before Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, but then again, of course, before Pac-Land, there was. I'm not sure about if Galaga was before Pac-Land, but Galaxian must have been before Pac-Land. That's probably. No, well, that is for sure because that was the one that brought tile maps to video games, and so yeah, so Namco didn't just use tile maps for the Galaxian series for this series. They made it into an adventure game, Pac-Land, and then Nintendo made a tile-based hardware system and struck it big with Super Mario Bros. Using tile-based rendering. I mean, Galaga was a huge hit. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Super Mario Brothers was probably got to be bigger, of course, but Galaga was a huge arcade hit, that's for sure. And I got sick of it. I couldn't stand Galaga. It was everywhere. I just thought it was slow and not very fun. I couldn't hit the ships. Anyway, so yeah, next up will be that much loathed and feared Galaga arcade version. I like this NES version. Oh man, so the guy died and his ship was spinning. Oh, and then it just comes down. Oh wow. Or gal, whoever's playing, I don't know. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and yeah, so there's a bunch. Oh, and then, so after Gaplus, there were more games in the Galaga series later, and there's one called Galaga 88, which I guess was in the arcade. Yeah, well, it obviously was. And then there was a pretty well-known PC Engine version, which I think I still have. I'm not going to pull out my PC Engine for that, but I am going to play the arcade version because that one is also in Hamster's Arcade Archives series. So I'm going to be doing Arcade Archives, Galaga 88, or is it Galaga? I guess Galaga is like a huge Western, English drawl way to say it, right? If it was katakana, you would Galaga, yeah. Well, no, it's not Galaga then. It's Galaga, maybe? Something like that. Galaga. I don't know. Yeah, I'm confusing myself. Hey, that's a kind of a stylized ringed planet horizon in the top of that logo. I don't pay attention to anything, apparently. I just blotted anything Galaga out of my brain for the past almost, well, I guess we could say 45 years. Wait, no, Galaga wasn't out when I was born. Galaga was 81 to whatever, so we'll say 81-ish, so that's 40 years. Blocked it out for 40 years, and now it's back, and I kind of like it on the NES. So we'll see if I like it in the arcade. Thanks for watching. See you later.